All India Radio presents Morning News. Good morning, I'm Gunmala Kapoor. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to share his thoughts with people in Mann Ki Baat program on All India Radio at 11 this morning. First batch of Amarnath Yatra pilgrims leave for Holy Shrine amidst tight security from Jammu this morning. US-China agree to relaunch stalled talks to end trade war. US and Taliban open fresh negotiations in Doha to end Afghanistan's longest war. And in ICC Cricket World Cup, Australia beat New Zealand by 86 runs and India to take on England at Birmingham. Match starts at 2:30 p.m. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will share his thoughts with the people of the country and abroad in his Mann Ki Baat program on All India Radio at 11 this morning. It will be the first edition of the program after Mr. Modi assumed office for the second term. In a tweet, the Prime Minister said, after 4 long months, Mann Ki Baat is back to do what it has always loved, to celebrate the power of positivity and the strength of 130 crore Indians. The program will be broadcast on the entire network of All India Radio and Doordarshan. It will also be streamed live on YouTube channels of the Prime Minister's Office, the Information and Broadcasting Ministry, AIR and DD News. It will also be simultaneously broadcast on AIR's website at www.allindiaradio.gov.in. AIR will broadcast the program in regional languages immediately after the Hindi broadcast. The regional language versions will be repeated at 8 p.m. People are eagerly waiting to listen to Mann Ki Baat too. Sharing public curiosity, Sunil from Hyderabad is expecting the Prime Minister to address the ever-increasing costs of education and medical services, especially for the middle class and people from below the poverty line.
देश को और आगे बढ़ाने में देश ने आपको दूसरी बार चुनी है.
People have elected you again to take the nation forward. They want to listen to Mann Ki Baat. There are 2 main problems in our country. First, middle class and poor people suffer by paying a lot for school fees and buying books for their children. Second is health and medicine. Please try and find a solution for these 2 problems.
Solution कीजिए, मेरा विनती है.
The first batch of over 2,200 pilgrims of the annual Amarnath Yatra left the Bhagwati Nagar base camp in Jammu for the Kashmir Valley this morning amidst tight security. The pilgrims, 1,839 men, 333 women, 17 children and 45 sadhus and sadhvis left the base camp in a cavalcade of 93 vehicles. More from our correspondent.
The first batch was formally flagged off by the advisor to J&K Governor K.K. Sharma amid the chanting of mantras after the special puja performed at the base camp around 4:30 a.m. today. Inspector General CRPF A.B. Chauhan told AIR that adequate number of CRPF, state police and armored police personnel have been deployed in Jammu city and on the highways. The convoy of vehicles ferrying pilgrims from Jammu base camp to Srinagar were being escorted by security forces. The annual Amarnath pilgrimage is undertaken by the pilgrims from all over the country to reach the cave shrine devoted to Lord Shiva. Yogesh Sharma, AIR News, Jammu.
In Jammu and Kashmir, 1 terrorist is reported to have been killed during an ongoing encounter with the security forces in Bugam Chadura area of Budgam district. The encounter broke out in the wee hours today. The body of the slain terrorist has not been retrieved yet. Details are awaited. Maharashtra Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis has ordered a detailed inquiry into the Pune wall collapse incident in which 15 people, including 4 children, were killed late Friday night. Mr. Fadnavis told reporters in Nagpur that strict action will be taken and the guilty will be punished. The Chief Minister said a committee will look into the factors like legality of the construction. The Pune police have registered a case of culpable homicide against the directors of 2 construction firms and have arrested 2 builders. The incident occurred when a portion of a compound wall of a housing society collapsed on the shanties adjacent to it in Kondwa area in Pune. The Union Minority Affairs Minister, Mr. Mukhtar Abbas Naqvi, has said that every Indian has one resolve and culture, and that is to live with harmony and unity for the development of the country. Speaking at the occasion in Mumbai yesterday, he said after the partition of the country, it was the majority community which ensured that the country's secularism and democracy should be strengthened. He said the centre is working with the principle of development with dignity and empowerment without any appeasement. Mr. Naqvi said this year as many as 2 lakh Muslims from the country will embark on the Hajj pilgrimage without taking benefits of the subsidy scheme. This is All India Radio giving you the news. For quick news updates, follow us on Twitter at AIR News Alerts. America and China today agreed to resume trade talks following a high-stakes meeting on the sidelines of the G20 summit in the Japanese city of Osaka. Washington has agreed not to slap new tariffs on Chinese exports for at least the time being, while China will buy more U.S. agricultural products. U.S. President Donald Trump said he would allow U.S. companies to continue to sell to the Chinese tech giant Huawei in a move seen as a significant concession. He said the U.S. would not be adding tariffs on $300 billion worth of Chinese imports. The United States and the Taliban have opened fresh negotiations in Doha. The talks mark the 7th round of negotiations aimed at ending Afghanistan's longest war. The negotiations have so far centered on 4 issues of counter-terrorism, presence of foreign troops, and intra-Afghan dialogue, and a permanent ceasefire. U.S. officials previously said they are hoping for a deal before the upcoming Afghan presidential elections in September, which have already been delayed twice. U.S. President Donald Trump has landed in South Korea for an impromptu meeting with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un in the demilitarized zone that divides the 2 Koreas. Mr. Trump earlier tweeted from Japan, where he was attending a G20 summit, that he would be willing to meet Kim at the demilitarized zone just to shake hands and to say hello. The 2 leaders first met in Singapore last year, the first ever encounter between a leader of North Korea and a sitting U.S. president. The summit had produced a vaguely worded pledge about denuclearization. Their second meeting in Hanoi, Vietnam, 4 months ago had collapsed without any agreement. The demilitarized zone has been a regular stop for U.S. presidents visiting South Korea. Back home, the Met Department has issued a red alert for Odisha as a low pressure forming over the Bay of Bengal is intensifying and slowly moving towards the west. Some parts are already witnessing monsoon showers, but the state has registered a deficit rainfall this month. The Met Department said rain will increase across the state from today and some parts may receive heavy showers till Tuesday. Squally weather with the wind speed reaching up to 50 kilometers per hour is likely to prevail over the North Bay of Bengal and the adjoining West Central Bay. Districts most likely to be affected due to the heavy rain include Bhadrak, Jajpur, Kendrapada and Dhinkanal. Fishermen have been advised not to venture into the sea. The state government has put all the 30 districts on alert. The Indian Air Force IAF has airlifted the stranded 15-member rescue team from the site where an AN-32 aircraft had crashed in Arunachal Pradesh earlier this month. Shillong-based IAF spokesman Wing Commander Ratnakar Singh said the team, comprising 8 personnel of the IAF, 4 of the Army and 3 civilians, were airlifted from the crash site. Using ALH and Mi-17 V5 helicopters, he said all the members who were taken to Alo in the West Siang district are fit and in good health. The spokesman said efforts to airlift the team were delayed due to inclement weather. Hul Day, marking the Santhal rebellion, is being celebrated in Jharkhand today. It was a native rebellion in eastern India by the Santhal people against British colonial authority and the zamindari system. On this day in 1855, the Santhal started the revolt under the leadership of 4 brothers, Sidhu, Kanhu, Chand and Bhairav.
Lord Cornwallis introduced oppressive zamindari system in 1793 through Permanent Settlement Act. Santhals revolted against this by organizing an army under 4 sons of landless village chief of Bhognadi named Sidhu, Kano, Chand and Bhairav. From 30th June 1855 to January 1856, number of skirmishes took place where Britishers were forced to proclaim martial law and press in service of large army like 7th and 40th Native Infantry Regiments. 60,000 Santals fought with utterly clean valor. 20,000 of them were eventually killed. Rajesh Sinha, AIR News, Ranchi.
A special national integration camp under the aegis of the National Cadet Corps is being organized in Ladakh region of Jammu and Kashmir to mark the celebrations of the 20th anniversary of Kargil Vijay Divas. The theme is Rejoice, Renew, Remember. Our correspondent has filed this report.
This year, nation is celebrating 20 years of Kargil Vijay Divas, and several functions have begun in Ladakh to commemorate the victory of Kargil War 1999. With theme celebrating of Kargil War, Rejoice, Renew and Remember, more than 500 cadets from all over the country are participating in the special national integration camp at Ladakh Scout Regimental Center. Iconic war hero of Kargil War, who was awarded Mahavir Chakra, Colonel Sonam Wangchuk, addressed the cadets at a function and shared how Indian Army took command successfully from the Pakistani intruders and memories about the war. With Yangcheng Dolma, Aarti Rana for AIR News, Leh Ladakh.
In ICC Cricket World Cup, defending champions Australia, who are already into the semis, strengthened their position at the top of the 10-team table when they defeated the Kiwis by 86 runs. Opting to bat, the Aussies posted 243 for 9, with Usman Khwaja top scoring with 88 and Alex Carey playing a crucial innings of 71. Mitchell Starc claimed a 5-wicket haul as New Zealand were bundled out for just 157 in 43.4 overs. In the other game played at Leeds, Pakistan moved to the 4th spot with a 3-wicket win over Afghanistan. Australia are at the top of the table with 14 points from 8 matches, while unbeaten India, who plays host England at Birmingham today, are second with 11 points from 6 games. All India Radio will broadcast a live commentary on the India-England game from 2:30 p.m. today. This can be heard on the Rajdhani, FM Rainbow Network and DTH Hindi. And now for an overview of today's newspapers, it's over to Subhadra Ramachandran.
Thank you, Gunmala. The Asian age leads with G20. PM talks inclusivity, showcases Sabka Saath. The Indian Express reports, no safe haven for economic offenders, says Osaka Declaration. The Sunday Times and several other papers headline, US and China to resume trade talks, halt traffic war for now. Trump softens up eases, Huawei curbs. The Hindu reports Doordarshan wades into war over waves along LOC in Kashmir. The Daily adds set-top boxes to be distributed free in 10 border districts where antennas capture Pakistan TV channels. India proposes Kartarpur meet with Pakistan experts in July, reports the Asian Age. Financial Express writes government to soon finalize IT intermediary guidelines. The Daily adds new norms aimed at checking fake news, objectionable content. Hindustan Times in a front page story says, government scholarship to check brain drain. HRD ministry is doing something to reverse the trend. It's planning to start a program that will offer scholarship to students who want to do their PhD in top international universities. And finally, Sunday Times quotes someone as saying, only rain can save Chennai. Water activist and urban planner Vishwanath Srikanthaiah adds to it, reviving water bodies, growing water-efficient crops and recycling wastewater are ways to ensure that such a crisis never repeats in future. And with that, it's back to you, Gunmala.
Thank you, Subhadra, for a look at today's newspapers. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to share his thoughts with people in the Mann Ki Baat program on All India Radio at 11 this morning. First batch of Amarnath Yatra pilgrims leaves for Holy Shrine amidst tight security from Jammu this morning. US-China agree to relaunch stalled talks to end trade war. US and Taliban open fresh negotiations in Doha to end Afghanistan's longest war. And in ICC Cricket World Cup, Australia beat New Zealand by 86 runs. India to take on England at Birmingham. The match starts at 2:30 p.m. For details of these stories and more, log on to our website www.newsonair.com. And with that, we end the morning news. Have a nice day.